Hello friends, welcome to Mechanical Engineering online classes.
Support reactions. Support reactions means reactions given by the support. Now for example, let us assume that on a floor there is one block and there is another block here. Let this be block say 1. This is the second block, one kept upon the other, and these two are kept on the table. So here the number of contact surfaces that we have is one contact surface is this. Let this surface be A. There is another point of contact which is this contact surface B. B is between the second object and the floor, and A is the surface between the first and second objects. Now when we say that the object is kept on something, so what we mean by this is that this object is lying on this particular table or floor or whatever it is. This is a block, say. Now why is this block staying in place? Why it is not penetrating through the table or through this particular horizontal plate or whatever it is? Because there is some reaction from this table onto the object that is kept upon it. So that's the reason why A is not penetrating through B, or B is not going into A, and B is not going into the table, not table is going into B. So they are not going into each other, they are lying on each other. So how is that happening? If at all this is a block lying on floor, suppose this is having weight W. So this weight W is acting vertically downward. But if this is the only force that is acting on the body, and there is no other support or no other reaction from the support, then this body would actually fall down to ground. But this is not falling down, this is still staying on the table. This is because the table is giving an equal and opposite reaction, that is the normal reaction. So this object of weight W is having two forces on it. One is its own weight acting vertically downward, the other is a normal reaction which is along this weight force N. So N is equal to W, because here there are no other vertical force components. So in this particular example, W is equal to N. They are both equal, opposite and passing through each other, and because they are opposite, they are nullifying each other, and the block is in equilibrium. It is kept on the table, so it is on the table only. It is neither jumping upward due to a heavy normal reaction from the table, nor it is able to penetrate through the table because of its heavy weight. So the weight is equal to the normal reaction from the support. So these are the support reactions. So because there is a reaction from the support, that particular support is called a support, otherwise it is not a support. If at all I am keeping a stone in water, this water is not in a position to give a normal reaction enough for this particular stone not to get dipped into the water. Mostly whenever if you put a stone into a water, it will go inside, because the normal reaction from the water is not enough to stop the weight of the stone on the surface of water. So that is not happening. In this particular case of a stone in water, water is not called as a support, because it is not supporting the object. The object is going into the water. But here this particular block 1 is supported on block 2, and this block 2 is supported by this table surface. So these are the supports, and we have to learn different types of supports and what reactions could be. And the video lecture of FBD, all about FBDs, we have spoken a few words about normal reaction. The reaction from the support is always towards the object. So when is that reaction happening? Here in this particular example, this is block 1 which is kept on the surface of block 2. So this surface is A. Now here, if at all I want to draw the FBD of this block 1 is this. If at all its weight is known, that we will put it as W1, and there is a normal reaction from block 2 onto this block 1 which will be acting towards 1, because it is because of that the block 1 is not able to penetrate or go into block 2. So this normal reaction from 2 to 1 we say 1. This is N1. Now when is this normal reaction there? What we mean by normal reaction here? Because the object is kept on some other object and this object is not free to get into this object 2, we are saying that there is a normal reaction onto this 1 from 2, so that this 1 is not getting into 2. So what we mean by this is, we have a reaction from a support only when motion in that direction is restricted. Now if we just look into this example, this block 1 is free to move left or right. It can move leftward or it can move rightward if at all there are forces. So, but it is not supported by any other blocks here. There is no other block here in order to restrict motion in left or right directions. So that's the reason there are no normal reactions here. Here there are no normal reactions. Why there is no normal reaction? Because there is no restriction. There is no support. Support is actually that thing which will restrict the motion of the object in that direction or towards that. Now here block 2 is beneath block 1. So block 1 cannot fall down into block 2. So there is a restriction in its downward motion. This downward motion is restricted by an upward normal reaction N1. So similarly block 2, this is block 2. Now here the table is giving a normal reaction, let that be N3, because this block 2 is not able to penetrate through the surface of table. So in order to restrict this lower motion of block 2, downward motion of block 2, there is an upward force or reaction from the table, that is N3. Similarly, this block 2 cannot even go into block 1. Block 2 is not free to move upward also. Downward it cannot move because of the table surface. Upward also it cannot move because of the block 1. So its upward motion is restricted by the downward reaction from block 1. Let that be say N2. Now it is free to move right or left. Block 2 is not restricted onto its right or left. So there are no normal reactions because there are no supports. No supports means no restriction. So there we don't have any normal reactions. So this is what we have to understand from what is called support reaction and when there is a support reaction. And if at all there is a support reaction, in what sense it is. Whether it is upward or downward or rightward or leftward or inclined or what. That must be also understood. So let us see what types of supports exist in general and what reactions they produce when they are in touch with an object. The first one is a roller support. Roller support means a roller is acting as a support. So this is a roller, so it is free to roll. Now this is just like a frictionless surface. You can see how it can be represented in different cases. Here the blue color circular one is the roller and the pink one is the object which it is attached to. So this is where you can see that there is an attachment to the object and this is having wheels. So these small circles are the wheels, so they are the rollers. So this is also one of the representation of a roller. So here only one wheel is shown, here also only one wheel is shown, but it might be a set of wheels also, like in this particular case. So these are all different representations of rollers, and here the rolling is happening on an inclined plane. So this particular object is free to roll along the inclined plane. So here the motion of the roller is, it will move in horizontal direction, rightward or leftward. So here also this rolling can, if at all it can roll in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction, and it is free to translate because as it rolls it can continue its motion like this. or onto the left side also. So here the supports are rollers, and we already know that when there is no restriction of motion in a particular direction, there is no normal reaction there, or there is no reaction from that particular direction. So here rolling is happening on the plane of the rolling. Here this blue colored one is a roller. This roller is kept on a flat surface like this. So this roller is free to roll on the ground. So there is no restriction on its horizontal motion. So here also the pink object is free to move along the horizontal plane. Here also the pink object is free to move in the horizontal plane. And in this particular case, this particular roller is free to move along the inclined plane. So when there is no restriction of motion along the plane on which the roller is kept, there is no reaction along that direction. But there is a roller kept here, and it is free to rotate rightward or leftward, clockwise or anti-clockwise, whatever it is. So therefore there is no reaction from horizontal direction, but there will be a vertical reaction. There is a normal reaction because of this roller. So that can be shown as the FBD of the object. So at point A there is a normal reaction at point A. Let the normal reaction at A be RA. So similarly B also, at B also we have a normal reaction RB. C, because C is also rolling along the horizontal plane, the normal reaction will be perpendicular to it. So it is this. And now here on the inclined plane, because the object is on the inclined plane, there is a normal reaction to, normal means perpendicular to the surface of contact. The surface of contact here is the inclined plane. So normal to the inclined plane will be our normal reaction, that be RD. Now because the inclined plane is making angle theta, so perpendicular to it will be making an angle theta with vertical. So you can see that here clearly. So this particular brown colored line represents the inclined plane, which is at theta. So our normal reaction will be perpendicular to the inclined plane. This is 90. So because this is 90, if we extend this will be 90 minus theta. And if at all we want to complete this triangle, because this is 90, this will be 90 minus theta, and this is already 90, so this becomes theta. So therefore our normal reaction RD will be at an angle theta with respect to vertical. So because inclined plane is theta, its perpendicular, now its normal reaction on that will be at theta from vertical. Now this is one support, and the support reactions are shown here. So let us look at another type of support, a hinge or pin joint. Pin joint means it is just like you pin a calendar onto the cardboard. So you are pinning the calendar and it is hanging via this pin. So this particular calendar is free to rotate about the pin. So pin joint or pin support means it is pinned at a point about which the object is free to rotate in any sense, clockwise or anti-clockwise. That is called as pin joint, also called as hinge joint. So you can see different types of representation. So here the pink object is pinned at the white point. So pin joint means the object is free to rotate about the pin in any direction. So in different directions, in this particular case the object is like this, so the pin is here, so there will be some normal reaction from the pin, because the object is not free to translate. It cannot leave the pin and go along a particular straight line. It can only rotate. So at different angles, when it is at different angles, this particular reaction will change. Now here at this particular another angle, the reaction will be different. So at different in different directions or at different angles, we are having different normal reactions. So we can assume that there is one normal reaction, there is some normal reaction like this. So at different angle of rotation, there is a different direction of RA. But one thing we know for sure is, no matter how RA is, RA can always be split into two components, two rectangular components. One component is the vertical component, the other component is the horizontal component. This is RA, for example. So we are considering it as HA and VA. One vertical component at A is VA, horizontal component at A is HA. So no matter in which direction this particular object is about the pin, we can split our RA into two rectangular components, one along the horizontal and the other along the vertical. So that is shown here. Because theta is not constant, we cannot write RA in one particular sense and we cannot finalize the RA direction, because it is free to rotate, it can rotate. So depending on theta it changes. So we will take it down into two components, HA and VA. And you observe this, the horizontal and vertical components are acting on the pink object, because it is FBD of the pink object. So the reaction will be on the pink object only. So HA and VA, because RA is onto the pink object, if you split that you will get this HA and VA onto the object only. And we can now look at the different, see here B, this particular object is kept in horizontal position. So here also this pink object is free to rotate in the other sense also. So in all these cases, no matter how it is, so these are the representations of the pin joint or hinge joint, and in all these cases we will write the reactions only in terms of HA and VA. For B also we have written in the same fashion, for point C also we did the same, at D also we did it, and E also, and here F. In this particular case also, now you don't have to be confused, because the pin joint is on inclined plane, whether pin joint is on inclined plane or not, because the pink object is free to rotate. As it rotates, as the angle of rotation changes, the reaction force direction also changes. So we don't have to worry or find out that. We will just split that into two components. One is horizontal and the other is vertical. We will find only HF and VF. From there we can find RF. This also, here also you can see this is pinned at the white dot. So it is pinned. So that should be mentioned. If at all it is not clear in a question, so it will be mentioned that it is pinned at point G. If it is not pinned, it's a different story, because fixed support is different from a pin support. Pin support means the object is free to rotate about the pin. Fixed support means there is no question of rotation or translation. Fixed means it's fixed only. It is also called as built-in support. So let us see what this support is like. Now the pink object is fixed into a vertical wall. Now what can happen here? Let the point here be A, about which we want to find what all different forces can act. Now there is a possibility that there is a force acting here, say. Even if the force is not acting, there will be weight of this object, even the weight will be acting, right? So in either of the cases, what kind of moments can exist here? One thing is, there is a reaction, as we remove this wall, there is definitely some normal reaction from the vertical wall, but because of its weight or some other force applied onto the object, there is a possibility of this pink object that can bend or that can deflect along its length. So original position is this. Because of its weight or some other forces acting on it, there is a possibility of the object slightly deflected. So the object may deflect along the dotted line. So depending on the deflection, the reaction at this particular point A could be in any fashion. The reaction can be like this. No hard and fast rule that the reaction is perpendicular to the wall. It could be along horizontal, it could be slightly inclined also. So in order to avoid all those multiple possibilities, I will split reaction at point into two components. One is a horizontal reaction at A, the other is a vertical reaction at A. We have this opportunity of splitting or resolving the force, right? So this is one thing. And now when this mostly these cases we see in beams. Alright, beam is that horizontal structure in your room. If you look at the roof, so somewhere in your room you will find some horizontal structure along the perpendicular to pillars. You will see horizontal structure. So those are the beams. So this is the case of beams in most of the cases. So because one end is free and the other end is fixed, it is called as cantilever beam. We will come across, we will learn what types of beams are and what all things we can do upon it. We will learn in the next lecture. But here, just for this particular understanding this support, so there is a possibility of deflection. That is one case. So there is a reaction due to this wall. So that we have taken down as VA and HA. Now because of its self weight or any other force acting on it, there is also a moment that is produced. Why are we talking about moments? We are talking about moments also here because we are saying that supports are giving reactions so that any motion in a particular direction can be restricted. What we mean by restricting motion in a particular direction? We in simple terms just mean that we are trying to keep the system in equilibrium. It is in equilibrium only then because it is having support reactions. Support reactions are helping the system to remain in equilibrium. And already we have learned that for an object or system to be in equilibrium, these two conditions must be satisfied. One is sigma f equal to 0, sum of all forces should be 0 and sum of all moments about a point should be also 0. Here sum of forces we can somehow find out and say okay, sigma f we are dealing with this. But because there is a possibility of deflection, because beam will be having a longer length, they are long horizontal structures and they are used for supporting the other roof. We are living in buildings, so there are stories. There is a story upon story. There are many floors. So all the stores are lying on one or the our roof is a slab to somebody else, and that slab is supported by these beams. So there is definitely a lot of load on that particular beam. So because of these beams, it is possible that there is a slight deflection. It cannot be heavy. There is a slight deflection. And this deflection is happening in this particular case of a cantilever beam because one end is fixed and the other end is free. So here if at all I am applying a load, there is a possibility that the object is deflecting because this F is able to create a moment about this point A. And the moment created by this F on point A is nothing but say moment about point A of force F that is acting in clockwise direction. So for the object to be in equilibrium at A, there should be a reaction of this moment also. So how is the equilibrium maintained? The moment should be opposite to this particular moment created by the force. F is creating a moment in clockwise direction. So this support should give a moment in anti-clockwise direction. Only then they both get nullified. Together they will be nullified. So there is a moment reaction also here about point A. If this is F, so this is F. So this is how this is how we write down the reactions. Reaction is not what can happen. It is what can balance or what can bring the system into equilibrium. So F, this HA, VA and this moment MA. So these three put together is keeping this entire system in equilibrium. So this is how we write the reaction forces. Now here also, in case for example this is point B, so suppose there is a force F acting here, for instance. So FBD of that particular object will be, now because the force is acting leftward, there must be some reaction like this. So I am just splitting that here also. If at all our reaction at B is horizontal, its vertical component will become 0. I don't have to worry about that. When we apply the sigma F equal to 0, we will know all the values. So this is point B. So this F is creating a anti-clockwise moment. So the reaction will be a clockwise moment at point B. So suppose there is a beam or rod welded at these joints. So this is weld symbol. This symbol means that it is welded at those locations. So this is nothing but it is fixed here. So there, if at all we want to find out, so suppose this point is say C, and there is a force F for example, then here also there will be a horizontal reaction, a vertical reaction, and then because F can produce a clockwise moment about C, there should be an anti-clockwise moment about this point C. So this is how we write the support reactions based on the given case. This is how the reactions are noted down. These are the reactions, not the actions. So these reactions are the counterparts of actions. So this is one type of support. Then we can see the other kinds, freely sliding guide. So here there's a slider. The slider is this pink object itself is a slider. It is sliding in a channel. So this is a channel, some passage. So this slider is attached here. So we haven't actually mentioned, this is a slider, this is the object, this particular one is the object of our interest. Now because the slider is free to move in horizontal direction, there is only one restriction. The restriction is it cannot move in vertical direction. This particular this object's end point is free to move leftward or rightward, but it cannot move up or down. So that's the reason we are giving a normal reaction only in vertical direction. We are not considering that this slider is having some reaction here. So we will split this into two parts. This is HA, this is VA. No. It is very clear that horizontally it is not restricted. If it is not horizontally restricted, then the restriction is in only one direction, that is normal. So it is here. So this is a case of a collar. So this blue color one is a collar. So this our pink object is attached to the collar here, and this collar is free to move vertically along the pink rod. Suppose this is the pink rod and this collar is free to move up and down. Up and down means this particular end point is free to move up and down because it is attached to collar which is free to move up and down. So there is no restriction along the vertical direction, but there is a restriction along horizontal direction. So that we are showing as a horizontal reaction, which is the normal reaction here. Now similarly, let us see the reactions from inextensible. Inextensible means it is not elastic, it is not like a rubber band. It is not neither compressed nor it is expanded. Inextensible string, cable, belt, rope, cord, chain or wire. Or I can say thread also basically. So here there is a pink object, a ball or a disc or whatever. It is attached to a blue color thread or string or cable or whatever it is. Now if we want to draw its FBD, there is weight force acting vertically downward, and because of this thread along this to one end of this thread is our weight hanging. So there is a pull force. So that pull force is say tension here. So because there is no other force acting here, that tension in the thread is equal to weight of the object. and this tension is always along the rope. So it is in the direction of rope only. So because if this is vertical, so this T is also vertical, and that's the reason it is equal to this W, because W is vertically downward force, and according to this figure the thread is vertical, it's another vertical entity, so tension is also vertical only. But in this particular example too, we can see that there is a thread which is inclined at theta from horizontal. So the tension here will be, naturally when we are talking about FBD of object, tension is a pull force, so it will be always away from the object only. So here the tension will be away from the object, and the line of action of this tension will be along the line of the thread. The line of thread is at theta from horizontal, so our T is also at theta from horizontal. So this is how we take down the tension. These are the support reactions from the string or thread or cable or belt, rope, cord, chain or wire. Then let us see how to find out the reactions for a rope and a frictionless pulley arrangement. Suppose there is a W weight that is hung from this particular, there is one point which is fixed to a horizontal. This pink color one is a frictionless pulley. A weight is attached onto this rope onto one side, and here if you can observe this is a symbol of a pin joint. Pin joint means the object which is placed onto that, attached to that pin joint is a pulley. Pulley is free to rotate. This is a pulley is free to rotate because there is a weight also here. Due to its weight, this pulley can rotate. So how do we, if at all I want to draw the FBD of the pulley, what reactions do we have to show? There is a weight from this point acting vertically downward, so that is W. Now because there will be a tension here, right? This rope is attached at some point here, so there is a tension here. Now if you carefully observe, there is only this rope is attached to weight alone. So from this fixed point along the pulley till weight, there is only one force that is actually trying to stretch this rope, and this rope is trying to create tension so that it cannot be stretched any further than its original length. So what is the tension in it? This tension is equal to this weight only. Only then they both are balanced. And at this particular when we have a pin joint here, this is a point where pin joint is attached to pulley. What force, how do we show the reactions at that particular point? We will show them as a horizontal reaction and a vertical reaction. This is H, this is V, if this is point A, say for example. So this is the FBD of pulley. So at the center there is a horizontal and a vertical due to the pin joint, and here there is a tension which is equal to W in this case, and here there is a weight which is equal to W. So this is the FBD of the pulley for the given system. For this example, this is the FBD. Now let us see something else. Here in this particular case we have it differently. So we should know this angle. Let this be, say, theta. Let this point be B now. So whenever we are removing the pin joint, we have to just place a horizontal and vertical there. This is HB, this is VB at point B. And now if this is W weight, there is a W force acting here, and there is a tension acting along this particular line which is at theta from horizontal. So that is away from the object. This is tension. Now what is the force with which this particular rope is been try to stretch? Equal to that of W. So here also theta is equal to W only. So this is the FBD of the pulley shown in the figure. So this is H, this is V, this is W at theta, and here is another W. This is the FBD for this particular set arrangement. Now let us check with this. So we are removing this pin joint and we are replacing that with horizontal and vertical reactions. There is a weight hanging at this particular location, that is W, and this weight is this particular force is balanced by the tension. This particular force W is balanced by the tension in this rope equal to W. So the tension is equal to W. So this is the FBD for this particular example. So these are the different arrangements of rope and frictionless pulley, and we have just learned how to show the support reactions. Now let us see if we can in all these examples, H and V were acting through one point and W are acting at some other point. So let us see if we can transfer these tensions and weights along the rope from the circumference to the center of pulley. Let us see if we can do that. So I am just taking a simple case here, some case. Suppose a pulley is like this, it is free to rotate about this particular point A, pulley radius is R. So there is a rope here which is theta from horizontal and it is connected to weight W. Now how this is the system, this is the arrangement of the rope and pulley system. Now let us see the FBD of the pulley. The FBD of pulley is, I am just trying to draw the pulley as it is. I am removing the pin joint at A and I am replacing it with a horizontal and vertical reactions. So there is a weight acting here which is W, and there is another tension that is acting here. Naturally, because this force is balanced by the tension in this thread, so this here also T is equal to W only. So this is a W and W. Now let us see if we can. We have already learned how to transfer a force from one particular point to another particular point. So now I am just trying to replace or transfer this weight force to this particular point A. I want to shift this W so that it passes through point A somewhere here and without changing the effect. The effect should not change, the question should not change. So let us see what we can do. Here this is W, this is point A, the perpendicular distance is R, which is the radius of pulley. Now I can, we have already learned how to do this, so I am just trying to add forces here. So what we are just trying to do, we are converting force into a force couple system. So this W and this W are nullified. Because of this W and this W, there is a couple. The couple will be in anti-clockwise direction. So our pulley will be, this is point A. So this W is acting here. Because of this W and this W, there is a anti-clockwise couple that is generated, whose value is nothing but one of the forces into perpendicular distance, which is W into R. And this these two W's get cancelled. So our system, which was this, is converted into, this force system is converted into force couple system. So this particular force W is taken care. Now this W is acting through point A with a couple attached to it. Now let us deal with this inclined W. So let us do that also. This is the pulley, this is point A, there is W acting here which is at theta, this is W. Now along the same line of action of this W, I'll add one W, and here I will add another W which is at theta only. Now this W and this W gets cancelled, and because of this W and this W, there is a clockwise moment, a clockwise couple. So this is point A. So W is here, which is theta from horizontal, and there is also a couple equal to W into R. Now we shall combine these two things. So we have a pulley at point A. So one W is acting vertically downward along with a WR couple, and there is another W acting at angle theta from horizontal and with a clockwise couple. So this is anti-clockwise couple and this is clockwise couple, both gets cancelled. So we have converted our system into these two W's that are passing through the center of the pulley. So without any problem with the couples, we are just left with this. Now what is a final FBD after transferring these weights? Because of pin joint at A, there was a horizontal reaction and here there is a vertical reaction. So this is the FBD of the given rope and frictionless pulley system. So when we have these W's at circumference, we can transfer them in this fashion, and this will help us solve the problem easily, because most forces are passing to the same point. So in that case it will be easy for us in analyzing the solution. So this is one important thing. So the next thing is, let us look at another kind of support. A straight rod is supported by a knife edge. Here this is the case. Suppose this is just an example that there are steps in your home. And you just place the stick here. So at this particular location, it will experience a contact which is a sharp edge. This is a sharp edge which is in touch with the object. Now how do we find the reaction there? Now here suppose let this particular point be A. So this particular rod is touching the smooth surface at A, and at this particular knife edges the object is touching at point B, say. So here is A and somewhere here it is B. A and B. Now because this is just an example of an object placed on a smooth surface, there will be a normal reaction. So that normal reaction is, say, RA. Reaction at point A is RA. Now what about the reaction at the knife edge? The knife edge is like this. The object is like this. So there is a point here at which there is a contact. So this particular area is where there is a contact. So where is the possibility of normal reaction? The normal reaction is perpendicular to the object here, because the contact surface is only a very small one. Because it is a rod, so you will have just one point. It is in touch with the object at one point. So we cannot find a perpendicular to this particular point. So we will draw the normal reaction perpendicular to the object. So that will be this. This is RB. This is point A, point B. So this is perpendicular. Because in all other cases we will take normal reactions perpendicular to the contact surface, but here because we have a point contact, we will take it perpendicular to the straight rod. So we can see other examples of such kind. Rigid body supported by a knife edge. The knife edge here is this one. Here this is acting as a knife edge. So now for example, there is a force P that is acting at an angle theta. Let this C be the center. So this circle is actually pulled by some force P, and it is coming in touch with a sharp edge or a knife edge here, this corner of the blue block. So how do we, what will be the free body diagram of this? If the weight of the object is given, then through center weight will be acting. Let that be W. This force is acting through the center C, which is at theta. And just like in the previous case, we will be taking the normal reaction. In this particular case, we are taking the normal reaction perpendicular to the rod. But here, it is a straight away a point contact. Circle is coming in touch with a sharp edge, means this is only a point. So what we can do is, we will draw a common tangent here. Perpendicular to that will be the normal reaction. So the normal reaction will be at that particular point. Let this be R. So I will show it in the figure here. So the normal reaction will be here, like this. So this will be the normal reaction. So FBD of this particular arrangement. So for the given object, for the given arrangement, this will be the FBD. So we have to note this point. Let this point be A. So at this particular point A only, we will be showing the reaction. So this might be the other case. So here P is a horizontal force A. So let this particular point be the center C, and P is acting not through center here. Now P is acting at some other point A. So let this particular point be, say, B. So here there will be a weight force of the object through point C. So through A there is a force P acting, and at this particular point B, perpendicular to a common tangent here, there will be a normal reaction or reaction from the knife edge, that is R at B. So this is the support reaction. These are the support reactions for the given system. So these are the most common support reactions that we may have to solve in our mechanics problems.
Thanks for watching. If this video was of help to you, please like it and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.